You're wasting your time with ChatGPT, and here's why. Everyone's talking about GPT, but what they don't tell you is the free version, which most people use, doesn't have access to the internet, which means limited access to data. And that's where Google Bard steps up. Nearly 2 billion people have a Google account, making Google Bard easily accessible to a quarter of the world's population. It has access to the internet and, most importantly, access to Google's huge database, so you'll always have access to the very latest information you need. That's why this generative AI tool beats the free version of GPT. We're about to share some of the smartest ways to use Bard and tips to improve the results it generates. And if you're wondering how to get started with Bard AI, you guessed it, just Google it. Tip number 1. You know how it gets sometimes. Your brain gets a little foggy and you just can't seem to get that project started. Use Bard AI to brainstorm your ideas. So if you're planning your next writing project or need to come up with a business plan, ask this chatbot to help generate those new ideas you're looking for. Experiment with different prompt styles and explain your situation thoroughly to obtain relevant and useful information from Bard. Second tip on the list. Sometimes there's just not enough hours in the day, but your project requires you to read a seriously heavy book in next to no time. That's okay. Just ask Bard AI to summarize the entire book for you. It'll give you enough to understand the basic theme. And if you want more details, simply ask Bard to explain a particular section of the book. Perhaps you're a student with multiple essays to write, but you've got to do the research first, right? Just take your study article, paste the URL into Google's chatbot, and ask it to summarize the content. Bard can also summarize meeting notes, events, reports, you name it. And for all you content creators, you'll love this. Provide Bard with information like your target audience and niche, and let AI generate fresh and personalized ideas for your content strategy. This will save you hours. And once you've generated your content, Bard even has the ability to summarize YouTube videos or podcasts. Again, just paste the video or podcast URL into Bard and ask it for a summary. Crazy, right? Then use that condensed content for short-form platforms. Find it difficult to get organized? Sometimes forgetful? We got you. The next tip will have you back on track in no time. But before we go on, please hit the subscribe button and we'll keep sharing on top AI tools. If you're bad at planning and sticking to a schedule, let Bard AI take control of it. In the prompt box, just enter the things you want to do in a day, give it a time frame, and ask it to generate a schedule for you. In a matter of seconds, it'll deliver a solid plan. And of course, you can always make any changes you might need to add in, like a coffee break. You might know that AI text-to-image tools are pretty good at generating famous art styles. Well, in that same way, you can use Bard for writing content in a specific style. Just ask it to write something funny, formal, conversational, or even in the style of a famous writer. Hey, that wedding speech you were worried about just got a whole lot easier. Next tip is yet another time saver. We all know when we Google something, we'll get a bunch of articles, all of them with different takes, and we'll have to sift through the massive data until we get to the point. Well, as we mentioned earlier, Bard's connected to the internet and has access to real-time data. So why not use it to get quick-fire information instead of old-school Googling? Bard will simply scan through all the articles and summarize Google for you. The next tip's for all of you that need a little help getting motivated. We all need a leg up from time to time, but it can be hard to talk to friends or family sometimes. Maybe you're going for an interview, launching a new business, or you just want to get fit. Ask the Bard chatbot for some words of encouragement. It might just give you that unconditional boost you need. This next hack is for anyone that's got exams coming up. Why not ask Google Bard to come up with essay ideas, multiple choice questions, or questions about a specific topic? Test yourself against Bard and keep on practicing until you ace it. Gold star coming right up. Before we move on, please hit that subscribe button, guys. Ever wish you had a personal chef to plan your recipes for you? Wouldn't that be cool? With Bard, just describe the ingredients you have, the amount of calories you'd like to consume, and type of food you like, and just like that, it'll come up with detailed recipes and meal plans for you. Chef Bard, at your service. Okay, here's some bonus Bard hacks for you, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, folks. Whilst planning your vacation, ask Bard for recommendations on places to visit and outfits to pack. Want to just chill out at home with your feet up? Type in your favorite genre and ask Bard for some movie recommendations. If you can't find a relevant answer, click on View Other Drafts, and it'll show you 2 different answers to your prompt. But the more context you provide in the prompt, the better the response.